Well, bhindi or okra is believed to be cultivated by the Ethiopians somewhere in the 12th century BC. All around the world, it is prepared in many forms. They are either pickled, roasted, stewed with tomatoes, but in India, the list is even more diverse than other countries. Hi guys, welcome to my channel Kitchen Kilogram. Today we will be creating two separate recipes of bhindi. First one is from Rajasthan where they have created this awesome combination with besan to create something wonderful we call as kurkuri bhindi. Second one is an alteration and kind of derived from what we call Mughalai do piyaza. So dopiaza is nothing but two separate textured of cooked onion mixed together. One has a gravy form and another one is roasted and crunchy form. This gives an overwhelming taste of onions with a unique flavor of different textures. So first thing first, drying bhindi is really important. Bhindi has something called mucilage which is also found in aloe vera. This sticky substance actually intensifies when it's in touch with water. If the bhindi is really fresh, it cannot touch water at any stage even after adding besan when we are making kurkuri bhindi. But if bhindi is few days old in refrigerator, only then we can add a little water. So here I have taken 500 grams of bhindi for kurkuri and an additional 500 grams for do pyaza. For kurkuri, we need to cut them into thin slices after drying bhindi on a cotton cloth, at least for 30 to 40 minutes. These ones are not straight out of farm, so the moisture content is already less in them, and the important thing is to only make sure that there is no presence of water on it. You can always take a hollow tasla or a deep bowl to mix all the ingredients for kurkuri bhindi. There is also an option for ziploc bag for this process. I know we can use our hand, but this way it is more convenient and efficient to coat bhindi all over with masala and besan especially. I have added a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili along with a teaspoon of yellow chili here. Along with that, I have added half a teaspoon each of turmeric, cumin powder and garam masala. Also, I have added 1 teaspoon each for chaat masala and amchur powder. Chaat masala gives that appetizing taste, and this is a dominant ingredient here in this recipe. Because chaat masala already has black salt in it, we have to quickly speed up the process of adding besan. But before that, I'm just giving it a mix so that masalas are administered properly inside bhindi. This bowl with lid comes very handy when mixing one stuff with another. And the best part was that comparatively a very less quantity of besan was used in this recipe. You can easily see how evenly all the masalas are coated on top of this gorgeous vegetable. Once this is accomplished, it's time to add 2 tablespoons of besan or chickpea flour. Because we will shake the ingredients in a bowl, there will be a lot less wastage of the items while achieving industrial quality. Like in case of other pakoras, besan has an awesome absorbent qualities. It's good for health, smells fantastic when baked or fried, and imparts a really great texture on any food item. To prepare authentic kurkuri bhindi, we need to first understand that it is not a pakoda. The procedure is to powder the bhindi with dry besan, but in case of pakoda, we can simply prepare a wet batter and throw it in the oil and be done with it. The idea here is to fry the bhindi and turn it crispy while maintaining the flavor and texture of it, not of besan. And with that being said, I am now adding garam masala on an already coated besan with some more chili powder. We'll quickly give it a mix and fry them. But before that, I am also adding salt since we are just minutes away from frying them. Here I have taken just 1.2 liters of kadai for frying and added about 200 ml of oil in it. Although it's not a deep kadai the way it's used commercially, but since we have coated bhindi really well here, you are about to see how crunchy it would taste at the end. So all the dusted besan on top of bhindi needs to remain intact. Simply crush a small batch with the help of a tong or your hands and place it into the oil. Make sure not to sprinkle it as it would simply dust off besan directly onto the oil and burn it. While frying, we can simply just move around bhindi a little bit just to make sure that it cooks evenly. Also, the idea is not to use excessive oil in a flat bottom pan. So it is still a win anyways. Cooking time for this is about 3 to 5 minutes. We are simply maintaining the temperature of oil by turning the flame from high to low and vice versa. The moment when we know that this is done is when our home has a pleasant fragrance of besan all around. Once you smell that and see the color is a little bit brown, it is time to take them out. As usual, we will quickly place them on a kitchen towel and let it sit for about 2 minutes. In that time, I'm adding another batch for frying. Both batches are done. We will finish them off with a generous pinch of chaat masala. And if you want, you can add a little lemon as well. Chaat masala is best to finish off Indian appetizers like paneer tikka, pakode. The list is huge. As you can see, I have added this generously over bhindi, and once you have let it sit for about 2 minutes, you will find that it would start becoming even more crispy. I will quickly shut the background music off so you guys can hear it. Guys, it is definitely addictive and it's hard to stop munching. But now we have one more ancient thing to prepare, and that is bhindi do pyaza. So guys, do pyaza was mainly originated during the Mughal era by our Indian chefs, and at that time composition for this dish was surprisingly 2 kgs of onions for 10 kgs of meat. But here we are just using 500 grams of bhindi, so I'll be just using 100 grams of onions for 500 grams of bhindi. Doesn't really matter even if it's little bit more. The more important thing is that the dominant flavor is of the onions. So first things first, we need to take out all the sticky mucilage by frying it in approx 2 tablespoons of oil. Make sure to keep the flame high and stir it constantly. As the sticky mucilage becomes aggressive in the presence of water, by frying it we are basically eliminating any presence of water in it. When you feel that none of the cuts are sticking with each other, you would know that it is time to take them out. Bhindi has quite a history that comes from a very distressed background, I would say, but I will surely let you know about it in my upcoming recipes. It usually takes around 5 to 6 minutes on high flame to remove the mucilage from the cuts, and this is a very crucial stage because if this is left unattended, the vegetable will start developing burnt char on it. It would simply divert you from the original taste. So now when bhindi is being cooled down, in the same pan we will heat up some oil and start preparing gravy. And at first we will add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds along with half a teaspoon of carom seeds. You can also add hing if you want, but onions and hing simply insults the basic concepts of using hing in your food. We will add about 100 grams of fine chopped onion and make sure that they are finely chopped. You can grate them as well, but do not puree them. We will fry them till they are golden brown in color. Here I am preparing fresh ginger garlic paste like always while the onions are being cooked. Waiting for the onions to get cooked is sometimes frustrating, and I believe this is a very good way to utilize that empty slot for a good taste. After adding ginger garlic paste, fry it on a low flame for about 60 seconds or till the time you start experiencing the pleasant smell of the paste around you. Once that is accomplished, we have to add 2 grated tomatoes along with some salt to let it cook faster. If you have watched my previous videos, then you might know that for grated tomatoes without skin, it would take about 10 minutes for them to cook. So we'll keep a lid on it and wait till they are done. By the time tomatoes are being cooked, we can prepare the secondary texture for the pyaza. We will simply take out large shells of onions and with the help of a scissor, cut small pieces of whole Kashmiri chili for the final stage. Once tomatoes are cooked, it is time to add all the powdered spices in it, starting with half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of degi mirch, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder and half a teaspoon of garam masala. Since this is a homemade garam masala, I am using only half a teaspoon, but you can increase its quantity if you are using a commercial one. To prevent the spices from burning, I am adding very little water and closing the lid of the pan for about 60 seconds. Once you start smelling spices, it is time to add bhindi in it. You will instantly observe the gravy coating the vegetables and giving it a color which is separated from the original green color of the okra. Just remember to stir gently because bhindi is almost 90% cooked by this time, and we don't want to rupture the texture by stirring vigorously. After mixing it well and checking the seasoning, of course, we will keep a lid on it for about 2 minutes or so. You might have seen me heating a separate pan, and that we have to use to add just the right amount of crispiness to the gravy more conveniently. Here in a separate pan I have added some oil and large shells of onion along with some Kashmiri chilies. We don't have to fully cook them, just add a little bit of salt and cook them on high flame till they start becoming little pink in color. At that time, take them out from the burner and simply add them with the rest of the gravy. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes for this process. Just remember not to burn whole Kashmiri red chilies while sauteing it on the high flame. They impart a very distinct flavor and it is very difficult to fix this bad taste at the last stage. Once the onions are added into the gravy, add some grated ginger or julienne and we will finally accomplish the 2 onion texture gravy or do pyaza. So it really doesn't matter if you're using more onions or less onions, this whole dish is simply two textures of same vegetable and that is where it got its name from. This is super convenient to pack in lunch boxes and because the gravy is thick, it doesn't spill over destroying laptops or your kids' homework. So guys, I'm going to have kurkuri bhindi with bhindi do pyaza along with some arar dal tadka and roti. Do try these recipes out and let me know in the comments what you feel about it. I will be back with my next recipe. Thank you so much for watching Kitchen Kilogram.